Hi there, my name is Will Cullen. I represent Kinetic Quest Wellness. And once again, I'm here with Blue Heeler Kirby for a little follow-up appointment. So Kirby, last time we were looking at his ability to turn left and right, and we were looking at the way in which he does that. And today, I want to have a closer look at his shoulders and in the way in which he sits. So I don't know if you can see the way the camera is now. Maybe there's a way I can show you. He doesn't sit very equitably on his rear paws here. There we go. You can tell he's clearly kind of on one side, and it's his right side. Sorry. He's very clearly on his right side, which means that he's on his right sit bone more than he's on his left sit bone. So I just watched an ATM about this the other day, or FI rather. And what they did was they looked at providing support under the right sit bone and encouraging that movement farther to the right. Because, of course, the first principle, or one of the principles of the technique, is find what it is the learner can do well and do it even better. And he's brought his entire right leg under him. So he's completely on his right hip. He isn't even really on his sit bone, as it were, or the equivalent of what the dog would have. He's completely on his right hip, on his right side. So I'm going to help him make that movement even better to come over to that right side, because it's something he does really well. And maybe I'll even lengthen. I was going to try to lengthen his right side to see if he would come more onto that right side for me, but he translated that as a request to come onto his left side. So one of the things I do when I'm working with Kirby is, if he gives me something like that, I go with it. So okay, you're ready to go onto your left now. So I can start playing with what you are on your left hip, with your left foot under you. Now on this side, he's gotten long immediately for me, which means on this side, he's ready to get long and to come onto that side. On the other side, when I tried to encourage him to get long on his right and come more onto his right side, he wasn't willing or ready to do that for me. So now that I've got him here, I'm going to come around to the other side. Well, stay there, Kirby. Hey, lie down. Kirby, come where you are. I know, you just want to see me. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Kirby, lie down. Good boy. Okay, so on this side, I can look again at the way in which he's coming onto that hip. Because he's on his right hip again. And he's on the side where he didn't want to get long on the right to come onto that side. But now I'm noticing that if I provide support under these limbs, those limbs are more ready to get long, and this might be able to come under him in a slightly different way. Already he's sitting a bit more equitably, but the right foot and the left foot don't want to come under each other evenly. So I'm building up puzzle pieces. When he's sitting on his right hip, he doesn't necessarily want to extend his right paw. And we found that to be as true when I was sitting in front of him and when I was sitting behind him. When he's sitting on his left, he's relatively okay to lengthen his left paw and lie on his left side. So lying on the left side being allowed to get long, and shortening his right side. This is what enables him to turn to the right, I think. Because if I'm in his orientation and I can lengthen my left side and I can shorten my right side, then I can turn to the right pretty well by shortening my right side. If I'm in his orientation and I try to turn to the left, but I'm not very good at lengthening my right side, that's challenging. Now, what that's also told me is that there's a couple of different paths here, that I could establish a path by lengthening his right side, but that's something he doesn't seem to want to do. So I could also try to begin to establish a path by shortening his left side, or seeing if there's an availability or a willingness in him to shorten that left side. So coming over here, I'm going to begin a small movement of bringing parts of that side together. In this case, it's the left elbow and the left knee. And I'm just trying to see, can those come together so that we can encourage the right side to get a bit longer? He's really not sure what to do about that side. This side can support you, puppy. But he needs to know it. He needs to know this side has me. This side can support you. Yeah, okay. It's okay. This side can support you as this side gets short. Yeah. This side can support you. This side can support you. This side's got you. I got this. This side's got you. This side's got you. This side's got you. As this side gets short. And now we've got him in the scenario that he didn't want to be in at the beginning. Sorry, a car just drove by. And as he's looking at that car, I can take advantage of that momentary curiosity that he has towards that side of the room. So when you're working with your dog and you're trying to help keep your dog lasting longer, because ultimately that's what we're doing here. Blue heelers are prone to hip dysplasia. And so if I can get him to bring his legs in line with his hips more clearly from an earlier point in his life, then I can hopefully prevent him from actually getting hip dysplasia and having issues later on. He's now lying fully on that right side that he didn't want to lie on before, and he's now lengthened his right side and is capable of shortening his left. Hi. Come here. Good boy. Okay, Kirby, sit. Sit. Good boy. Okay. So now, we'll also start to work with it a little bit up here. So we want to promote turning to the left. In order to turn to the left, the sternum has to turn to the left as well as it can turn to the right. So I'm going to start by encouraging the turning to the right that already exists to a good extent. And once again, as soon as he's done or he needs rest, I find him back on his left side. That's a place where he knows himself really well. So that's okay. You rest, Kirby. Come and rest. Good boy. Good boy. You ready for rest? You ready for rest? You ready for rest? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. while he's resting, I can start to look at this side and its willingness to get long. Yeah. We're starting to lose the camera a bit here, Kirby. Lie down. Lie down. Good boy. And every time he lies down, it's a new opportunity for movement observation. So once again, he laid down. Once again, he splayed his right leg over to the side. Once again, he lengthened his left side. And once again, this is his pattern, it's his habit. So we're going to start to work with that and try to inform it. That's your left side. You can get very long on that left side, and you can get nice and short on this side. You're really good at that. Yeah, you're really good at that. You can also do the opposite, Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Ah, yeah. Now here what's happening is there comes a point in every FI where Kirby at least thinks that it's a game, and he thinks that we're wrestling. And so if I let him believe that and I let him get engaged with my hands, then I can use that to try to bring him to a new place. He very spontaneously went over onto his right side just a moment ago as he was playing with my hand. And what I'm trying to show him is that from this place where he has both of his feet, he can actually go either way. That he doesn't have to go to the left, sitting on the left rather, that he can go to sit on the right. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Okay. Now come to sit. Come to sit. Can you sit, good boy? Can you come to sit? Can you come to sit? Good boy, sit. Could we sit? Come on down. And then there I can guide his sitting as he's with my hand. And find out how he does it. Long right side, short left side. And then he goes back into his habit. But for a second, there it was. Spontaneously, as you sat, he came onto that side. He realized he had the choice. And then spontaneously, when he went to clean himself, he went back over to the other side. So part of introducing these habits is helping them realize that it's even possible. And then the other half of it is rewarding them. So this is my partner's dog. I'm getting him to reward Kirby with treats, and I reward him with treats when he does the movements that are non-habitual, either spontaneously or when asked to, so that he sees value in doing them, even though they don't feel correct or natural to him. And as soon as he goes into an action like cleaning himself, he immediately reverts back into his old way of knowing himself. It's similar to what I've done with my fingers here. I'm not paying attention, and so I've laced my fingers the habitual way. I have an option to do it like this, just like Kirby has an option to lie on his other side, but it's not where I know myself. It doesn't feel natural. And so Kirby's at the point now where these options are being introduced into his nervous system. And now what he's working on, I would say, is integrating those into something that is functional. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you enjoy the videos of me working with people and with dogs, then please subscribe to me on YouTube, visit me on Facebook, and like our page, and go to www.kineticquest.ca and claim a free movement quest and come on an adventure with us, because there is so much you discover in yourself that you may not even realize is there. And I want to share with you the kind of, kind of untapped potential that I've been getting lately. And there's another one. So I've never seen him lie quite like this before, but he's lying on his right side, and his paws are tucked up underneath him on this side in a very interesting way, because he's still used to having his paws be on his right side for when he's lying on his left. So it feels normal for him to have his hands over here, even though his spine and his hips are finding a new place to be. Very interesting. So once again, subscribe, like, join a class. I do in-person classes in Vernon Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the moment, and classes on Zoom virtually every day. Thanks for your time. See you soon.